Hi. Yes, we're in Guernsey. I don't know whether you can see me because I have no idea whether I'm in shot, but we've got Mary in the back of the car. Say hi, Mary.
Hi.
And here's Paul driving, as usual.
Spoiled.
And we've been for a drive around the island, haven't we, Mary?
Yes, and Mum thought she saw some people on the rock and there was nobody there.
So if you didn't hear that, Mum was hallucinating people on the rocks.
Yeah, but I'm 87, so...
Yeah, we allow that because
That's all right.
Yeah.
You're almost 88, Mum.
So it's very foggy today. I don't know whether you can see or whether this is going to turn out, but it's just very, very foggy. You can just about see the...
That's nice, Richard.
What do you call that? The cup and saucer?
Cup and saucer, Mum.
The cup and saucer going past. But we've been drenched in fog since we arrived, virtually. No, the first evening it was quite clear, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But now it's very foggy, so we're going for a drive around. Even though it's bad weather, we're still getting out.
Yeah, and it's still pretty. It's still nice.
It's still nice. We've taken a few nice photographs. Whoops.
Guernsey is lovely.
So there we are. We just thought we'd say hello from Guernsey, Channel Islands, near France.
Been taken out with the boys.
So say bye, Mary.
Bye.
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 Bye, Paul. Say
Bye.
bye.
Church looks nice there, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Richard, that would be a lovely one. Perhaps coming down.
Hello, welcome. As you've seen, we're fresh from Guernsey, where everything smells of fish and seaweed.
It doesn't
Oh, it
smell of
does.
fish.
It does.
It smells of the sea.
There's a constant smell of fish in the air and seaweed. Even the people look like fish. Guernsey, island of the fish people.
I don't think that's right.
Not really.
I think
I'm
it would be
joking.
a Greek island if it was.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
How come you look like that then?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not quite sure fresh from Guernsey.
No, we were delayed.
Were you doing a fish then?
We were delayed somewhat, but not on the plane. You can stop now. Not on the plane. The plane was early.
The plane was empty.
And it was empty.
Virtually.
It was virtually like having a private jet.
Yeah, apart from the fact that we were sat in two small seats and weren't allowed to wander and didn't have Well, we did have lovely stewardesses, but they didn't have lovely canapes and things like that.
You have to pay for a biscuit and a coffee.
You do.
Through the nose.
Years ago, when I was working with Cliff Richard, we did private jets.
Dropping names again,
yeah,
Paul.
we did. We had a really, really fabulous one because we were doing previews, press days for what was it called? Heathcliff. We were doing press days for Heathcliff, and we did one in Manchester, but then we had to do the next day in Edinburgh, and the only way of getting there sensibly for everyone to be awake was
private jet. Paul, what a glamorous life you've had. Look at it now.
Yeah, look at it. I get excited with my hands in the soil now.
Any regrets?
No.
Good. So we went to Guernsey. And as you saw...
What is this?
Well, we're starting the Sunday chat.
Sunday chat!
I'm Richard and this is Paul, if you didn't already know.
And it's Sunday chat.
And yeah, Guernsey to see Mum. You saw Mum saying hi in the back of the car. She's doing okay.
Yeah, she is.
She's doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to be 88 in April.
Yeah.
So
not bad. She's, you know, she's still getting around the flat. She's still making her meals, going out for little walks on her little walker, her little whizzy walker.
Yeah, and she goes right down the front now. I didn't realise not front, but she goes right round by the pool and things.
So she's getting her exercise.
Yeah.
She's eating quite well.
And my brother's looking after her as well. They went shopping to Iceland the other day.
She loves Iceland.
She
now,
loves
she?
Iceland.
That's Iceland, where you can buy frozen foods.
Like fish.
Like fish.
I did get confused when Mum said something and she said, I was thinking of going to Iceland. And I went, oh, we've always wanted to go to Iceland. And she said, well, maybe we could go next time you come. And then I realised that we were talking about the shop.
Really?
How was it living with me and Mum for 4 or 5 days?
It was wonderful. I enjoyed every moment. Of course I enjoyed every moment. I love spending time with your Mum.
But we do tend to switch from one thing to another. So Mum will go, oh yes, and do you remember? And I'll go, oh yeah. And then Mum will go, oh, but what about? And by that time we've moved 3 subjects.
Within 10 minutes I have no idea what anybody is talking about at all. There's no continuity. Ever.
We got out onto the patio as well, didn't we?
We did. It was very foggy, as you saw, and we were treated to the mournful sound of the foghorn until the early hours of the morning on 2 occasions. It's an interesting sound, isn't it, the foghorn? Yeah, all right. Stop now. Stop now. Imminent danger of death. It is an interesting sound. It has it's an evocative sound.
Oh, it is.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you can't see out to sea at all. There are no little blinking lights from little ships and boats out on the water. It's like a wall of white.
Yeah, or grey if it's at night.
And just this sound penetrating the grey blackness of the fog. I tried.
I thought you were going to be lovely and poetic then.
Well, I leave that up to Kate Bush.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you haven't seen my review of The Sensual World by Kate Bush, including the song The Fog, go and have a look. Not now, later.
Are you going to do a...
And if you haven't watched it and you're not going to watch it, why not?
Oh, God, he's getting antsy now. He's getting antsy.
Honestly.
Auntie Phil's dad was a lighthouse keeper.
Was he?
Yeah. We actually looked up, didn't we? Because I wondered how, without electricity, they had foghorns.
They didn't.
But they did.
No, before foghorns, they used to shoot cannons.
Yeah, cannons.
Into the fog. accidentally destroying boats
But
on the way.
didn't you say that there was one, we looked it up and there was steam. Yeah.
Steam-powered
foghorn.
I know.
So you'd have candlelight, which is where lots of candles and lots of mirrors create lots of candlelight in lighthouses, and the foghorn.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
From steam or cannons. Cannons would be quite dangerous.
That's what they said.
Because you might hit the boat you're trying to...
That's why they stopped doing it.
Oh, right, okay, I didn't realise
because of
that.
the fatalities.
Used to be quite a lot of smuggling in Guernsey.
So
I knew there was in a lot of places, wasn't there?
Yeah, let's not start drifting aimlessly.
Tangent. We had a nice time. We had a really nice...
We did.
I am quite tired.
Well, the first day we got there, Wednesday we arrived.
Yeah.
But Thursday,
It was foggy.
it was very foggy and we did go out, but we were very tired, weren't we? We kind of...
Yeah.
I mean, in the heat that is the apartment where Mum lives,
Mum likes it warm.
hotter than the surface of the sun, one does tend to drift into unconsciousness quite easily.
He fell asleep. He just put his head down. He fell asleep. And I went up and I poked his ear and he just did that.
So we kind of did have a little bit of relaxation as well, which
Mum
was
was
good.
asleep at the same time. Mum was...
I
And
think-
Richard was...
Yeah, I think people know generally what asleep looks like. They're all grown adults.
Oh dear. It
So,
was quite funny.
Yeah, that was nice. Taken a few nice photos as well. So they'll be on our Facebook page. That's Richard and Paul. And Planet Vegetaria. That's a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. That's Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual.
You took some lovely Narcissus photos as well, didn't you?
I did.
I'm doing a vlog about entering Mum's apartment and smelling those Narcissus.
They were quite strong. And we did again do a little bit of research into the word narcissus.
Yes?
And it actually has the same root as narcotics or narcosis. And the root of the word is narc, N-A-R-K-E, and that means to be numb or numbed. So Narcissus was numbed by his own beauty. I know exactly how he felt.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Well, I can't help it.
You've just done your hair.
I haven't done my hair, I've just put it up because it's a right bloody mess. So that's one of my words of the week. Narc. Narc.
Narcolepsy. That's when
That's sleep disorder.
Yeah,
Yes.
where you just go to sleep.
in
yeah.
the middle of something, yeah. That also happens to me quite a lot.
Especially when I'm explaining something to him.
Usually. So that was all good, all lovely, lovely trip, and all is well in Guernsey.
Yeah.
Next.
Next. What's next?
Well, we were delayed.
Oh.
We were delayed getting back. We got to the...
Oh, it was a bumpy flight. You were a bit...
Oh my God. No, it was. It was a bumpy flight. Turbulence. And we must have moved a good 10 feet or so, at least. No, we must.
Oh,
because I had just downed a lovely... What's it called?
Cup of coffee.
No, an Americano. An Americano.
I think it was that...
And a Cadbury Twirl.
Yeah, it was that Cadbury Twirl you had.
I just downed those because you've got to be quick on this flight because by the time they've served the drinks,
go along and go down.
They're sort of clearing up. And we then had the turbulence and my stomach was quite shaken and I did feel a tad queasy.
I thought it was great fun. I love turbulent flights.
It was like a bloody roller coaster, Paul. It was.
It was fun. And there's me going, oh look, it's bouncy, and there's Richard going, holding on to...
Oh, I need a
He was
tissue.
holding on to the seat in front.
I was.
For grim life, really, he was.
I was.
And I went, "Are you okay?" And he went, "It's very turbulent.
It's
I'm not
very-
feeling very well."
Very
To
turbulent.
which I think I
Well, no, I didn't.
laughed.
I just felt slightly queasy.
Oh, dear.
But, you know.
And
But
we
anyway.
didn't know which way we were coming in. We came in slightly different
There was
route.
lots of cloud.
We were on a more southerly route than normal.
But we get to the... Where is it? What's it called?
We get to the tube station
No, the
at
aeroport.
Heathrow.
The aeroport.
The airport, Heathrow.
Aeroport.
Airport.
Aeroport.
Airport.
Aeroport.
Yeah, Heathrow. We get
Heathrow.
to-
And there's no bloody tubes.
No,
It's absolutely ridiculous. So we had to get a
bus,
bus.
Richard.
A rail replacement bus. More like a cesspit of germs.
Wasn't it?
Disgusting.
Lots of people
Coughing.
and sneezing. You were doing your you know, in the Seven Voyages of Sinbad, or one of those where there's the evil queen who's got the veil and she's got the crow foot thing. You were like that with a veil. You were like.
Well, I was, because I didn't want to breathe in the disgusting germs.
I made sure I breathed through my nose.
Yeah, well, I have
thought
to
that
remind you to do that.
Yeah, because I'm a bit of a mouth breather.
Being one of the fish people of Guernsey.
Yeah, so I did breathe through my nose. But it really bizarre, the place that the bus picked us up, and it was just a double-decker bus, wasn't it?
It was.
It wasn't. They had
Ordinary
coaches going direct from Heathrow to Hammersmith.
Which looked quite luxurious, I have
Absolutely.
to say, with aircon.
Yeah, and they were all putting their cases in the bottom, and 6 turned up, and we were waiting for our bus, and then this scraggly red
Scraggly
double-decker turned up
Thing.
with PL1. That was the route we had to
Piccadilly
get.
line.
Piccadilly line 1. Anyway, it got us home. But
It did.
on the reader thing, it said Heathrow Central Bus Station hesitation point. And I thought, the last thing you want when you've got disrupted travel and you might be a bit nervous is for the driver to be a bit hesitant about where you're going.
But maybe that was what that road was called, Hesitation Point. Well, there was
Stupid name.
Envoy
Stupid
Roundabout.
You thought that was Enjoy
I did.
Roundabout.
I thought it was Enjoy Roundabout. It's
Oh.
ridiculous.
And we passed some huge hangars.
It did.
I don't mean like closed hangars.
We had a tour around
We did.
Heathrow.
Because it went from where we were at Hesitation Point to Hatton Cross. And we went all the way around the outskirts.
Yeah, you don't need to tell everybody every minute
We went
detail.
left and then we went right.
Paul, move on now.
Then we went straight on.
So in other news...
Then we doubled back on ourselves.
In other news this week, Brexit has happened.
Oh yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
And the virus has arrived.
Coronavirus.
Hence wrapping the scarf around my head.
I know,
Looking
I
like
know,
I
I
dream
know.
of Jeannie.
Bathsheba. You looked a bit like Bathsheba. With veils.
You said I looked like an evil queen earlier.
Well, yeah, I think that was closer. I was now trying to be a bit nice. Oh! Guess what we saw in Guernsey? What did we
Fish.
see?
Fish, seaweed.
Sheep! We saw sheep! There used to be some black seaweed eating sheep in Guernsey many years ago.
Were they black because they ate the black seaweed?
Maybe. I'm not quite sure whether they did eat the seaweed. I think they did. But yeah, they used to be called the seaweed eating sheep. But there's a lot of sheep in Guernsey now, isn't there? Millions. Millions. I think we saw about 40 in 3 different places. Did you get a clicky of them?
Yes.
Oh.
Paul,
There was one that was really, really cute. He was a bit of a brown sheep.
move on now.
He was
Please
really
go
cute.
on to a subject that people will actually find interesting.
I like sheep.
Right, yes.
I changed my profile to a sheep on Facebook. Next.
You wanted to talk about seeds.
Oh, yes. We are doing the Cheeky Prince Challenge again this year. So they're seeds that we got from Chris in the US, and Kelly has also, of Kelly's Kitchen Garden, has also grown a Cheeky Prince this year, or last year, that did really well and saved the seeds. And this challenge is a Richard and Paul and Kelly's Kitchen Garden joint challenge to grow in its second year the best Cheeky Prince or Cheeky Princes that can be seen by us. So we are going to be sending seeds out to those. I think it's going to be limited to about 50 people because of the amount of seeds. But if you would like to grow Cheeky Prince this year from second generation seeds, these are, then send us an email to cheekyprince@richardandpaul.com, and that email, when you send that email, it will go direct to us and also direct to Kelly as well.
Technology.
So Kelly's going to be sending out seeds, we're going to be sending out seeds, and it will be really interesting to see how the second generation of Cheeky Prince seeds grow this year. I think there's still a few growing in their first year in Australia, so who knows, maybe we'll find out how they do in a month or so.
Lovely. Oh,
So if you want to take part in the Cheeky Prince Challenge, cheekyprince@richardandpaul.com, or comment below and we'll take your details from there as well. But you'll need to email us anyway so that we have your details, because we can't take your details in the comments. And Kelly will be doing a video announcement on that too.
Oh, lovely. Collaborations.
Yeah, it's a joint thing. Yeah. And thanks to Chris in the US as well. We have dropped you an email. Thank you. So, thank you.
How lovely.
Next.
Well, I wanted to just mention that I've had a sewing machine lesson.
Oh yes, you have.
I have.
I'm going to have a drink.
Go on then. I had a sewing machine lesson from the lovely Vivi from What Vivi Did Next and Vivi's Kitchen Garden and Vivi's Kitchen Garden shop. She's got a shop.
Yeah, she's got a great
with
shop.
lovely things in it. She's got some new things in it.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, have you bought that?
No, have you bought it?
No, you're buying
No,
it
that
for
was a
me.
hint for you to buy it.
Anyway, so I had a sewing machine lesson. Look out for more of that coming up very soon in this month, later this month.
This month.
Oh, today is 02/02/2020, which reads the same backwards, doesn't it?
As it does forwards.
Yes.
It's a palindrome of a number.
Numerical palindrome. How lovely. So yes, look out for more adventures with sewing machines with Richard and Vivi, coming soon to a screen near you. Now, I wanted to talk about my word of the week. Now, it's a little bit complex.
Right.
It's complex, like me. Now, I have to get my phone because I've got an example. And the example quote is a Dickens quote. This is from the Pickwick Papers. And the quote is, "At length, Mr. Stiggins took his hat and his leave." That is called slepsis. I learnt this, and the reason I'm doing this is because I'm on a bit of a mission to learn more about the English language.
Right.
No, I think it's good, don't you? Especially now we've left the EU. No, but I want to say what it means. Oh, where's my notebook? Right. It's the use of a word in the same grammatical relation to two adjacent words in the context, with one literal and the other metaphorical in sense. Oh, isn't that amazing? No, don't you think it's amazing?
I'm just trying to get my head around that, really.
There are other...
Let's have a read of it.
There are other examples. But what I want you to do...
So what, he took his hat and his leave.
But it's meant to be comedic.
Right. It didn't make me laugh.
Well,
Mind you, Pickwick Papers doesn't make me laugh.
but anyway, there we are. So that's my example of a grammatical term which we should all start to think about. I want you to think about grammatical terms and how they're used in everyday language. Share them with me. Let's learn together. Next.
Tataratat.
I don't know what that means, Paul.
Tataratat. Tataratatat. Tataratatat.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is the art of good conversation.
We have lots of that, don't we? I talk an awful lot.
The thing that really annoys me though, honestly, all joking aside, the thing that really annoys me is when you have a conversation with somebody and they launch into a conversation or talking about themselves and never ask you how you are or how you're doing.
Oh, yes.
You know, for me, a conversation is an exchange. I mean, this is different because we're talking to you through the medium of video. So this is not a conversation, it's not a two-way street. But you know, I mean, if I meet you, I'd say, "Hello, Paul, how are you?" And you would say,
I'm fine, thank you.
"Oh,
How
lovely.
are you?"
"Oh, thank you very much for asking. I'm very well, thank you."
Good. Do you wake up like that in the morning?
"Yes, I do. How about you?"
Yes, I do too.
Now, if the conversation isn't going like this, and maybe you've not been offered tea, biscuits, or perhaps some recreational drugs, then one should leave. Really, leave, because it's not a conversation. Think about it. Good conversation is about listening and asking questions.
It's definitely
Isn't
about
it?
listening.
But it's
yes.
about asking questions.
And it's also about asking questions, but it's definitely about listening.
The best conversationalists ask questions and don't say anything about themselves.
No.
Paul. But I was thinking about this the other day, and I think the art of conversation is being lost.
Oh, completely.
Because people are so narcissistic
Yes.
that they just talk about themselves without asking you. And it's like, do you actually care what's been happening to me as well?
I ask people
You know?
I don't even know how they are. If I think they're having a bit of a, down day or moment or something, I'll check to see how they are.
But isn't it lovely when somebody says something about themselves, they share something, and then they say to you, "And how are you doing?"
Yeah.
That's lovely. That's conversation. I just
You can
wanted
get
to
it
mention
in shops. When we were in
Yes.
the other day, I was in the Larish in Co-op in Guernsey. The Co-op or Larish, can't remember which one. And the guy at the counter sort of said, "And how are you today?" And I said, "I'm actually good, thank you. Yeah. How are you?" And he was quite
Taken aback.
by being asked the question. He went, "Oh, I'm all right, I suppose. I said, what, you are all right, or you suppose you're all right? Is there something? Well, my girlfriend and I had a bit of an argument. So whilst he was putting the things through the till and I was paying, and he was sort of telling me about his his troubles with his girl.
I think one can take
Yes.
it too far sometimes.
Well, he didn't get into detail.
But it is nice. I mean, we always say to the stewardesses, we shouldn't call them stewardesses now, should we?
Steward
Cabin
people.
Cabin staff.
I'm sure they've got a different name.
Attendants. I don't know. But we always say, how are you?
She was cold, wasn't she?
She was cold.
Lovely lady when we got on, and Richard said, how are you? And she said, oh, I'm all right. And as I got on, she said, hello. And I went, you look cold. And she said, I am cold.
Anyway, the other thing I wanted to mention as well is, as you've heard me say before, I don't set myself New Year resolutions. But I do,
No.
when it starts to get to February, I do set myself a personal goal.
Right.
Because I feel ready to start taking the year on.
I think
You
that's
know?
fair enough.
And my personal goal this year is to continue to improve. No, that's the wrong way of putting it. No, is to not overthink things.
Oh, God.
And to continue to improve my skills of meditation. Because what happens is, if I sit down for a rest for, say, 10 minutes between jobs, no, I can start to think too much.
Oh, you do that in the morning when you wake up
Yeah.
as well?
So also what I'm trying to do is to practice object gazing.
What's that?
Now, it's when you want to rest, but you don't want to meditate and you don't want to fall asleep. Look at an
Oh,
object
right, yeah.
and take it apart in your mind. So look at the object, think about how it's made, think about what its function is, what its
Shape,
qualities
colours.
are, its shape, colour, materials, all of those things, and also what it gives you. That's quite a good exercise in sort of switching off, having a rest, but not going into a deep meditative state when you don't want to.
And falling asleep.
Yeah, I wanted to share that with you. You see?
I think it's
Quality.
quite good. I do think, yeah. I think it's
Don't
very.
you
I used to overthink a lot, and I sort of still do. At the moment, I'm stuck in the middle of two people who are sort of having a go at each other about something. One says the other person hasn't done it, the other one says the other one hasn't. And there's one of them is sort of, well, what do you think he's thinking? I think he's thinking this, I think he's thinking... And I went, you know what, why don't you just ask him? I don't have time to think, to second guess what somebody else is thinking in a particular situation. Because what I've really found in my life is that when you second guess things, you're generally wrong. You know, particularly if you are projecting what you would do onto what somebody else would do. Oh, what would I do in that situation? Well, why is he or why is she doing that? Actually, that person is a different person. So there's no point in you taking your own morals and codes of how you live your life and projecting them onto somebody else, because they will generally have completely different morals and codes than you. So they might not care about something. So you might be thinking, oh, well, I think they must be thinking this because I'm sure they care about this. Well, actually, they don't. Yeah. So I'm also, when I am stuck in the middle of people, I'm also going to take a back seat because it's good for my own mental health.
Yes.
So yeah, there we are.
And that's the overthinking thing.
It is.
As well.
It is.
It's not good for our mental health.
Yeah.
You might enjoy it. We don't.
I don't.
So, is there anything else you'd like to talk about this week? Paul?
I don't think so. I think it's been a bit of
it.
Yeah, because
It's been
we
a
were
busy
late.
January.
Yeah, it's been a very busy January. We're now into February. I'm going to be picking up some compost, hopefully, from a local stables tomorrow with another allotment holder. I didn't think we'd do it in the evening because I thought you might not like to shovel compost.
Are you speaking in another language, Paul? I don't understand.
So I'm getting on with things and hopefully getting some of this compost anyway. Lot to do, but actually taking it all bit by bit.
Yes. My other goal.
Oh, you've got another goal.
My other goal this year is to wear brighter colours all of the time. Look. Look. Well, I wore this on the plane.
I know.
Because
I know. They thought he was one of the people with the paddles that do this.
Well, I thought if we go down in the channel, people will see me.
Certainly. Did you think we were going to? Yeah, I think he did. I think he thought. Yeah.
I did. I thought that was it. I almost said goodbye at one point to you, Paul.
What do you think you would do in that
I'd just say, Paul, we're going to die. Bye.
Right.
Or just brace and go down with it, and try and. I think I would try and fight for my life.
Oh, so you wouldn't? You'd be fighting other people. We wouldn't have had to fought other people on the plane today because there was only about 20 of us.
I mean fight for my life. I would swim and try and stay alive.
Oh, right, yeah.
And hang on to a bit of wreckage.
If there
but
is any.
You wouldn't last long at this time of year. That's the problem.
No.
You might be alive.
Well, especially if you get caught into the English Channel because it flows rather swiftly there.
Oh. No, can we not talk about anything further to do with horrible things like that? So that's it now. That's it.
Is that it?
Sorry we're late. And
you've got to edit this now.
I've got to edit this and put it together. But that's it. That's it. That's our list of things. We've been a bit list oriented.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
But we had to. We had to be structured.
We're also finding that we talked about this earlier. We are both writing things now, writing lists. I've always kept notes on my computer, but there are certain things that I actually find are much better writing.
Yes.
Richard's tapping my foot now, which I think means shut
Time
up,
to tie
Paul,
up.
because it's time to.
It's time to eat something and to.
What are we going to read?
Moving. Well, we're going to have some bagels, aren't we?
Are we going to have bagels?
Lovely bagels.
What are we going to have on the bagels?
Tuna mayo.
Oh yeah, we could have that.
Toasted bagels with tuna mayo.
Oh, toasted bagels with toasted tuna mayo. Do you mean toasted bagels with tuna mayo or toasted bagels with tuna mayo?
No,
toasted?
I don't want heated up fish.
You had heated up fish the other day.
No, but not canned tuna.
No.
I do. We are still eating fish, seeing as we've just come from the island of fish, where everybody eats fish all the time.
It's also sort of with Mum. We had a lovely stew. You made a lovely
vegetarian stew.
Vegetarian shepherd's pie with
wasn't a stew.
No, it wasn't a stew. That was last time, but that was very nice. But with Mum, we tend to eat fish because Mum eats fish. She eats meat as well, but obviously we don't. So we tend to have fish 1 or 2 days. Don't we?
We're going now. Thank you, Paul.
I think we will stop having fish at some point.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were going to maybe 6 months ago, but I think we will.
The Green Book is now closed. That means we're going. The Cat Notebook is closed. We're now going and saying goodbye. Thank you, bloody thank you. My lovely cat notebook. I love notebooks. I love pens. Things like that. They're lovely. Lovely.
You've got more room in there. It's very cute. It's very cute.
I know that's got plenty of pages. This one's got to be changed soon for a new one. I keep them all. I might auction them off when we're famous. People do that.
I don't think we'll be doing that for a very long time.
Thank you, bloody thank you. Goodbye. Au revoir. And all the other words in foreign languages that I don't know. Thank you.
Yeah, I just thought
Take care. Shush now, Paul. Shush. Thank you, thank you. Bye, bye, bye. Say goodbye, Paul. Goodbye.
I'm rubbing my feet
Say
together because I want
goodbye.
to say something else.
What?
Bye.
Thank you. And glowing.
Yeah, you bloody well are as well.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.